Welcome to another episode of Nets Nuggets, and we just wrapped up India's practice session, which was held under lights. Unlike yesterday, where they trained in the afternoon heat, they chose the evening hours today, and it was Australia's turn to train in the heat today. It wasn't that hot for Australia because there was a light spell of rain, light drizzle, which kind of eased the weather a bit. There was a light breeze blowing across the ground, but then when evening hit, it was back to normal Chennai weather. The humidity levels were very high. It wasn't that hot, I would say, in the evening hours, but yes, the humidity was very much up there. So India's session started with a lot of fitness and routine drills in the main ground, where they were doing a lot of football practice, they were doing catching drills, they were doing fielding drills before actually action moved towards the main net area where training actually takes place, net sessions actually take place. So it was Mohammad Shami who was the first entrant of the middle net, who was facing some throwdowns and some net bowlers. He was getting his batting practice in before he actually starts bowling again. But he was at it in the nets, and before he could resume his bowling duties and bowl to the likes of Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, Ishan Kishan, the three of them were the first entrants when action actually picked up steam, I would say, and became very intense when these three batters walked into the nets. The bowling was done by the likes of Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj, Jasprit Bumrah, Ashwin, Ravindra Jadeja. Everyone was bowling. Shardul Thakur also bowled. But the biggest takeaway was that Ishan Kishan was batting in the cornermost net, and he was facing the bowlers who are likely to start in this game. Now, why I say likely? Because there is no clarity over that yet. Rahul Dravid kept cards close to his chest at the press conference earlier in the day. But indication from the net suggests that Shardul could well sit out of this game, and it could well be Ravichandran Ashwin, who enjoyed a lot of success in the ODIs against Australia, where he impressed in the game in Indore and in Mohali. So now it remains to be seen who actually plays, but my personal feeling says that Ashwin could well pip Shardul Thakur, because he was at it. He was bowling non-stop. He bowled like close to an hour. He would be bowling. Then when the batters were done with the batting, he would still continue bowling on the single wicket. So Ashwin remained at it, and the bowling composition also looks pretty much like Mohammad Siraj, Jasprit Bumrah, Ravichandran Ashwin, Ravindra Jadeja, Kuldeep Yadav and Hardik Pandya. Now Kuldeep Yadav didn't bowl today. He was doing more fielding and catching drills in the main ground. He didn't turn up at the practice area where rest of the team was practicing. Rest of the team, excluding Shubman Gill, who is still recovering from dengue fever, and the management is hopeful that he could recover well in time, and he's much better than how he was yesterday. But still, fingers crossed, and Ishan Kishan is kind of preparing himself, getting mentally there, because if at all the situation arises, he looks like the player who is going to open the innings for India with Rohit Sharma. Now coming to Rohit Sharma, it was an off day for the Indian captain. He was chilling around, but had a lot of talking to do. So he did put the batting guru hat on, and he engaged in nearly about a 20-25 minute conversation with Shreyas Iyer, where the two were talking numerous things about batting. So defensive shots, pick-up shots on the leg side, just getting that front foot out of the way when you're going for big hits, and how to plant that front foot when you're going over when you're going for the booming drive over covers. So these are the few things which we could pick from some distance, because both of them were very animated in their discussion. Rohit was, always in the ears of Shreyas Iyer when the two stood next to each other, talking tips, talking about how the game, how the session unfolded for Shreyas Iyer, who was one of the first entrants in the nets, along with Virat Kohli and Ishan Kishan. So Rohit had a chill day. There was a gentle breeze blowing across the training session, and he was, having a good time, speaking to a few teammates. He had a chat with Ishan Kishan after he was done with the net session. But what stood out for me was that chat with Shreyas Iyer, where he went on and on and on, and the two just didn't stop. And the duration was such that by the time the players were getting ready for the second round of batting, both Rohit Sharma and Shreyas Iyer were still talking. So that was pretty much it from India's session, because after that they kind of eased into the main area where they were doing a lot of range hitting and catching. And from what we could see from the distance, the way the players were palming, wiping sweat off their palms, and the extra surface, extra liquid which was there, I think there were indications of dew very much on the outfield, because a towel was in their hand when they were doing catching drills. The likes of Virat Kohli was taking those aerial catches, and there seemed to be a concern for dew. Now what happens on the given day, it remains to be seen, but right now India kind of are ticking all the boxes when it comes to preparation ahead of this big game, and it's going to be a big call which they need to take, because do they rush Shubman Gill in only the first game of the tournament, or just allow him time, because it's a long World Cup, and this team is going to be the most travel team in the World Cup. They are the only team who are playing all their games at different venues, unlike other teams who have the luxury of playing at least 2 games at the same venue. So India don't have that luxury. They'll be travelling the length and breadth of the country, and that travelling has already got underway. The 2 warm-up games were unfortunately washed out, but travel was involved. Now they are here in Chennai. After that they moved to New Delhi. From there they moved to Ahmedabad. From Ahmedabad the action shifts to Pune. From Pune the action shifts to Dharamshala. From Dharamshala to Lucknow. From Lucknow to Kolkata. Kolkata to Bangalore. So it's a long road ahead for the Indian cricket team, and I would kind of get that feeling that, you know, they wouldn't rush Shubman Gill right now, because dengue is not a regular viral or flu. You know, it sucks the energy out of your system, and you do need time to get back to match fitness. So what happens next? You stay tuned to Cricket Next, because with this special segment called the Nets Nuggets, we'll keep bringing to you all the updates from India's training session, something which you wouldn't be able to see on live television or just from the comfort of your television screens. So when you can't, make sure you subscribe to Cricket Next YouTube channel, because we'll bring all the updates for you from wherever India are playing in this World Cup. So stay tuned.